All right, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We got 13 MLB games on tap on this Monday. We're going to talk about every game as always. Then I'll give you guys my best bets. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Comment down below with your favorite play of the day. All right, let's recap Sunday. Crazy, weird Sunday. Not a great Sunday for us, which we've been on a roll. We've had some really good Sundays. So took a little hit. We had the Guardians -1. They ended up losing. Cantillo gave up 4 in the first. Guardians turned around, scored 2 in the first. I'm like, all right, that's not too bad. And then we really didn't see hardly any runs until the end. We had the Yankees on the money line. Terrible. First time they've ever been swept by the Marlins, ever. So I like that narrative of them not getting swept, and that didn't pan out. We had the Orioles and the Cubs over 8. That one was a push. So it ended at 8. Cubs hit a 2-run walk-off to push that for us. And we had the Astros on the money line. Framber Valdez had a terrible 4th inning and just got absolutely drilled for like 6 runs. 3rd or 4th inning, I can't remember. Astros were up 1-0 early. It's looking good, and then Valdez just completely shit the bed. So 0-3-1. Good bounce back day here. 5 best bets that I really like. Let's talk about each game. First game on the card at 6:40, kicking us off is the Astros and the Marlins. Marlins are red hot. Won 5 straight, 8-2 in their last 10. Still 2 games under 500 at home at 27-29. Astros 1 game above 500 at 27-26 on the road, but they've lost 3 straight, and they're 2-8 in their last 10. Jason Alexander going up against Sandy Alcantara. Alcantara 6-9 on the year, giving up a 261 opponent average. But Jason Alexander 1-1, giving up a 303 opponent average. Big inning disparity here. We've got Alexander's got 25 innings, but less than a 1K per inning. In this one, if we just kind of look at recency here, so Sandy's last 2 starts have been fantastic. He went 5 runs at St. Louis, gave up no earned runs, only gave up 3 hits. And against the Padres at home, he went 7, giving up 4 hits, no earned runs. Now, the previous 3 starts to that, actually we can go beyond that and say the previous 4 were not good. He had given up 4, 6, 5, and 7 earned runs. So he's definitely trending in the right direction. We look at Alexander. Last start was against the Nationals, gave up 2 earned runs. Start before that was against the Athletics. He gave up 5 earned runs. So not somebody I really want to trust. You got an Astros team that's struggling to score runs here, only averaging less than 2 runs per game in their last 3 at Fenway, which is, the conditions weather-wise were decent for runs, and they still couldn't get any. That said, they're hitting righties well. They're hitting 268 over the last 2 weeks, hitting 294 over the past week. Actually significantly better than the Marlins in terms of hitting. Where they've struggled is runners in scoring position. They're hitting 189 over the past week, hitting 180 over the past 2 weeks, and 207 over the last 30 days. These are all bottom 3 numbers, whereas the Marlins have just been very efficient with runners in scoring position. They're top 10 team in runners in scoring position. Over the past month, they're actually second. I have one of the best records in the MLB over the last 30 days. So I can't really get to the Astros in this spot. So are you getting good value to take the Marlins? Yes. Marlins are still a really bad team. At the end of the day, this is a 500 club, 55-55. Astros 62-50, but the direction they're trending, I just can't do it. A Nerfy is one of the options I looked at for this game, but it would be Marlins or nothing for me. Minnesota and Detroit here. So this is going to be Casey Mize going up against, I believe, Travis Adams. There hasn't been a pitcher officially announced here, but got a feeling it's going to be Travis Adams. Only has 12 innings under his belt this year. Weather-wise, it's going to be 77. We do have the wind that's going to be slightly blowing in this contest. Tigers coming off of Sunday Night Baseball where they got shut out by the Phillies. A couple of really nice plays in that game, though. Don't really love taking the Tigers. Sunday Night Baseball had to travel home, but that said, the Twins are pretty bad. They did just win their game, but coming from Cleveland to Detroit, slight travel advantage, I guess you could say. But there's just nobody on this Twins team I trust. But Casey Mize, if we look at how he's done recently, it's been it's been a bit of a roller coaster. Last start was really good, but it was against the Diamondbacks. So how much do we want to read into that? Start before that at Pittsburgh wasn't great. 10 hits, 4 earned runs, only went 4 innings. Previous start to that was against the Mariners, went 3 innings, gave up 6 earned runs. So a little bit shaky there. Adams' last start was pretty bad. It was against the Nationals, went 3.1 innings, gave up 5 earned runs. He's had 4 starts under his belt. He's given up 5 earned runs in 2 of those 4. So it would have to be the Tigers for me. Maybe Tigers -1. Casey Mize has been pretty decent at home. He's got a 3.32 ERA in 8 home starts. It's just lefties that have really been getting to him. He's given up a 400 average to lefties, only 200 to righties. Pretty much same story for Adams. 483 average to lefties over the last 30 days, 150 to righties. Both guys' hard hit percentage is pretty high. I wouldn't mind taking it over in this spot, but it would have to be, yeah. I mean, 8's doable. I think you're bringing the push into play, but it's Tigers -1 or nothing for me here. Next game is going to be the Giants and the Pirates. It's going to be Justin Verlander going up against Johan Oviedo. Oviedo hasn't pitched in the majors since 2023, had Tommy John surgery. If we kind of look back over the years for him, he's been in the league since 2021. First year, he went 0-5 with a 4.91 ERA, only pitched like 62 innings. Next season, only had 56 innings, had a 3.21 ERA, went 4-3. 2023 was kind of the year he was actually racked up some innings. He had 177 innings pitched in that, 158 Ks, 1.37 WHIP, 4.31 ERA, went 9-14. This guy's a career 1.40 WHIP guy. Really good breaking ball. It's been a while since I've seen him pitch. I'm sure it's probably still halfway decent, but he definitely had a very, very nice breaking ball back in that 2023 season. Just kind of has a lot of run to his pitches. I would say still going to give it up, though. Used to be throwing about 96. I don't know what he's throwing these days, but whiff rate was pretty good because of all the run he had on those breaking pitches. Strikeout rate was always kind of average, but he did have a high walk rate, really high barrel rate. Hard hit percentage was pretty high. This is just one. Do I want to trust Verlander? He's looked good in his last 2 starts. He faced the Pirates on 7/29, went pretty good. Only gave up 1 earned run at Pittsburgh. So coming back to that one, they ended up losing the game 1-3. We look at Atlanta. He pitched really well. 5 innings, only 1 hit. So we've got 2 straight starts of pretty good stuff here. I just don't trust Johan coming back off Tommy John. Rehab starts looked okay. It wasn't anything great, but you're giving me the Giants at a pick'em almost. Give me the Giants at -115 in this contest is one of our best bets here. Trusting that the Giants should do pretty well. A couple other things I like that work in our favor. Pirates are going to be traveling from Colorado all the way back home to Pittsburgh. So Giants actually have the travel advantage because they'll be coming from New York. We just saw them absolutely throw a beat down on them. So trend-wise, they're looking pretty decent. So I like this spot for them. So any team that's leaving Colorado, I think we've got an advantage here. Weather-wise, it's going to be pretty nice. We got an 83-degree day with a slight wind blowing in. So give me the Giants on the money line here. Our next game is going to be Baltimore and Philly. It's going to be Jesus Luzardo going up against Cade Povich. So Povich hasn't pitched in the majors in a minute. So this one, again, Phillies coming off a 2-0 win last night thanks to a Schwarber, bottom of the 8th home run. Coming off Sunday Night Baseball. Luzardo, not been great at home. If we kind of look, his last start was against the White Sox in Chicago. It was fantastic. 7 innings, 2 hits. Perfect game. Now, against Boston was their last home game. It's slightly deceiving. He gave up 6 earned runs in 5 innings. He only gave up 2 hits. He just walked 5. So he really struggled with his control. One of his worst starts in terms of control for the season, but he only gave up 2 hits. So his stuff looked great. Just got to locate his fastball. Next start was against the Angels at home. Gave up 7 hits, 4 earned runs. So he just really hasn't had too many good home starts lately. Start before that was against the Reds. 2 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. I mean, they tattooed him. It felt like he was tipping his pitches. So what are you going to get here? I don't know. This is an Orioles team that is hitting lefties. They're hitting pretty decent against lefties, actually. 7th over the last 2 weeks. They're 10th in the last week. You got a Phillies team that really isn't hitting lefties too well. But when I look at the lines for Luzardo, it's slated like he's going to have a beautiful day. His pitch mix looks fantastic against this Orioles team. Throws a fastball 45% of the time. Orioles over the last 30 days, 27th hitting the fastball. Slider, they're 25th, and changeup, they're 26th. So they're literally bottom 5 in every pitch he throws. I think he has a really decent day. Splits look good for him. He's very good lefty on lefty. Give me the Phillies. First 5 minus a half a run. It's just one where I don't trust Cade Povich. He is not a good pitcher. When we look at his pitch models, he's average or below average in every single pitch he throws in terms of the majors. And we got a very nice day at Citizens Bank Park, 86 degrees and the wind blowing out. So the home run index is going to be up. And I like this Phillies team to bounce back after kind of I wouldn't say a subpar performance last night, but offensively, I think they get a very susceptible pitcher in Cade Povich. He's got a 5 ERA on the season. He's 2-5 with a 284 opponent average. So I like this spot here. Give me the Phillies on the first 5. If you do want to take Luzardo over 4.5 hits, I don't think it's a bad play. Frankly, this is one I had on the card as a strong lean. It didn't make the final cut, but he is over 4.5 hits in 8 of his last 10 home starts. So you can get right around plus money for that play right now. But ultimately, I do think it's a Philly spot. Let's see. Next game, Kansas City and Boston. So this is going to be Bailey Falter. It looks so weird seeing Bailey Falter pitching for the Royals and not the Pirates, but he's going up against Brian Bayo. Falter 7-5 on the year, 3.73 ERA. Bayo also 7-5 on the year with a 3.19 ERA. Bayo's pitched a little worse at home, but pretty much the same, 3.33 ERA and 13 home starts. Splits against lefties and righties, been very good against lefties. He and Falter pretty much have almost the exact same numbers in terms of splits. Bayo 180 to lefties, 250 to righties. Very low hard hit percentage though, so I do like that. In terms of Bayo recent starts, pretty decent. Right, he pitched at Minnesota in his last start, gave up 5 hits over 7 innings, only 1 earned run. Gave up 3 to the Dodgers, 3 to the Cubs. Pretty tough offensive teams, but only 1 to the Rays, 2 to the Rockies, 2 to the Reds. So pretty decent there. And we look at Falter, last 2 starts have been good. He was at San Fran. He only gave up 1 earned in 5 innings. Against the Tigers on the road, or at home, I'm sorry, he went 7 innings, only 1 earned run. So very nice there. And the White Sox got to him, which that's a team that's been kind of torching lefties. Now, over the last 2 weeks, the Red Sox really haven't been hitting lefties, hitting 191, 78 WRC plus. But if we just look at the last week, they're on fire, hitting 310 with a 150 WRC plus. Pretty low strikeout rate, pretty high walk rate. So everything you'd want to see there. And this Royals team has been hitting righties halfway decent for the Royals. In terms of the weather, it's going to be 83 degrees and a fairly neutral wind today. I do think it's a Boston spot, but can't pay this price for Boston. Not willing to take a -1 or anything on those lines. When we look at the Royals on the road as dogs this season, they are 24-23, so there is some ROI there. When we look at the Red Sox at home as favorites, they're 28-17. So it would be Red Sox or nothing. They're 8-2, won 5 straight games, but the Royals are also 7-3. But like I said, Red Sox are nothing for me in this one. Next game is going to be Cleveland and New York Mets. Going to be Sean Manaea going up against Slade Sassoni. So this is one. Mets coming off a pretty nasty little loss there. Did not see that one coming. Same with the Guardians. Both are coming off of losses. Mets at least have the home field advantage. They get to stay home. They didn't have to travel, whereas Cleveland did have to do a little bit of travel, but not too bad. Manaea on the season 1-1 with a 175 opponent average. So he's looked pretty decent. He's given up 1 earned run in all of his 4 starts so far, but he's looked really good. I mean, 5 hits in his first start. But after that, 1, 2, and 3 hits against the Padres, the Angels, and the Reds. Slade Sassoni he's definitely starting to regress a little bit. He's given up 2 or more earned runs in his last 6 starts. Last start was against Colorado. He gave up 3, gave up 2 to the Orioles, 6 to the Athletics, 2 to the Astros, 2 to the Tigers, 3 to the Cardinals. So this is one I can't really get down with the Guardians here, but I do like the over. If you can find an over 8, I do like it. So I can see this moving to 8.5. It's just more the weather. It's going to be 82 degrees, pretty neutral wind. We got a Cleveland team that is hitting lefties, hitting 280 over the last 2 weeks, 333 over the past week. Now you've got a Mets team struggling a little bit with the sticks versus righties over the past week, only hitting 200, but hitting 243 over the past 2 weeks. Pitch mix here doesn't look great. Manaea should have some success with his fastball, but it's a Guardians team that's hitting the slider and the changeup really, really well. But Manaea is kind of a 2-pitch guy. He's fastball, he's a slider. Doesn't really throw it anywhere near the middle of the zone, though. So you might sometimes his walks can get up there, but he keeps it in check pretty good. But this would be, there is value taking the Guardians. I just don't know. I don't think I get to the window with it, but maybe Guardians +1 here. All right, next game is going to be the Brew Crew and the Braves, one of my favorite pitchers to fade, Eric Fedde. Eric Fedde going up against Quinn Priester. Now, the Priester has pitched pretty decent, and the Brewers have won 8 straight games when he's been pitching. So if we look at his recent games, pitched against the Cubs, he went into the 6th inning, gave up 8 hits, but only 2 runs. At Seattle, went 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs. Against the Dodgers, didn't give up any, gave up 2 against the Nats. Marlins got to him for 4 earned runs, but they still ended up winning that one 6-5. He's looked pretty decent. Fedde is Fedde. He is probably going to get rocked because that's what he does. If we look at his last, let's say, 6 starts, he's given up, in terms of earned runs, 4, 6, 3, 3, 7, 7. So he's just not good. The issue here is rain. It's going to be 67 degrees, so a little on the cooler side. There is a 66% chance of rain, so I don't necessarily love that spot, but give me the Brewers on the first 5. We're getting them at -125, really good value. This Brew Crew team is hot. Offensively, they're only averaging 12.67 runs a game over their last 3 games. Now you got a Braves team that's averaging 6, but don't love where they're at after the whole Bristol debacle. They were supposed to have the day off on Sunday. It didn't end up happening. They had to call a pitcher up, had to use a couple bullpen arms. You had Riley who had to leave the game, so it might not have Riley in the game. We'll see. Seems like he might play, but still could be a little banged up. Just don't love the splits here for Fedde. He is just a walking earned run machine. Hard hit percentage through the roof. Runners in scoring position, not great. Almost a 6 ERA at home. So give me the Brewers on the first 5. We're just taking them straight up on the first 5. Next game is going to be the Yankees and the Rangers. Going to be Max Fried going up against Patrick Corbin. We look at Patrick Corbin. He's not been bad. If we look at his July starts, against the Angels, only 2 earned runs. Against the A's, only 1. Against the Tigers, none. Angels again, 2, and the Padres 2. So he's actually been better than Max Fried, who has definitely seen some regression. He gave up 2 against the Rays in his last start, gave up 4 against the Blue Jays, 3 against the Cubs, 3 against the Mets, 4 against the Blue Jays. So not a great July for someone that was definitely right there in contention for Cy Young, but I think he's negated that now. So he's actually lost 3 of his past 5 games. Going up against a Rangers team that at home, 34-20, pretty good. And you've got the Yankees, 4-game under 500 on the road. They've lost 3 straight, 4-6 in their last 10. Just not a team that I want to trust, man. I can't get behind them. It would be Rangers or nothing for me in this spot. Max Fried is susceptible. This is a Rangers team that hits lefties very well, hitting 296 against lefties over the past week, 254 over the past 2 weeks. Yankees have struggled just a little bit against lefties. So this is one Rangers or nothing for me. If you're going to bet it, I'm sure the public will go nuts on the Yankees, so you can probably find better value as the day goes on to bet the Rangers. Just don't know if I get to the window with it. Over 8 looks pretty appealing as well. Next game is going to be The Reds and the Cubs. Nick Lodolo going up against Michael Soroka. So the new addition to the Cubs. Not somebody I love. That said, he's been pitching pretty decent. But in terms of starting pitching, yeah, I don't love him. This guy just faced the Reds on July 23rd. So not that long ago. Ended up losing 5-0. So that was a game where he pitched good. He went 5.2 innings, only gave up 1 earned run and 2 hits, struck out 6. But you're seeing the same guy, same time in 2 weeks. That typically doesn't work out well. Last start was against Houston, only went 3.1 innings, but 4 hits, 2 earned runs. So he's given up 2 earned runs or less in his last 4 starts. So pretty good recency there. But Lodolo's been pretty damn lights out too. 2 or less in his last 4 starts as well, with 2 goose eggs in there. So this is one I like. Lodolo in Chicago with the wind blowing in. Wind blowing out would be a different story. Both of these guys do give up home runs, 1.2 average home runs per 9. In terms of their whip, about the same. So a lot of similarities here. But I like taking lefties against the Cubs. And if we look at Lodolo, he's done really well at Wrigley. He's 1-0 with a 1.59 ERA in 3 games. And if we look at the Reds going back to the 2022 season, they have dominated the Cubs. The first game of a series at home, they're 4-1, and they're winning by a pretty decent margin as well. So Cubs, if we look at them going back to last season, lefties have definitely been the way to get to them. They're 8-10 in the first game of a series at home versus a lefty. So divisional game. Give me the Reds here. Give me the Reds on the money line. We're going to take a little shot here. It's going to be 77 degrees. We do have like an 8-9 mile an hour wind blowing in, so it is going to suppress runs just a little bit. We got an over-under of 8. Don't really want to touch that. But I think the Reds have a bullpen advantage in this one. They got to rest Santillan. They got to rest Pagan. A lot of those bullpen guys that have been getting used quite a bit have now had consecutive days off. So I do like exactly where this bullpen's at. So it would be the Reds for me, especially coming off the loss to Bristol. Look for them to bounce back here. All right, next game is going to be the Blue Jays and the Rockies. This is going to be Eric Lauer taking on Tanner Gordon. So this is going to be prime weather, 93 degrees with a 15 mile an hour wind blowing out. I almost feel like you got to auto bet the over. This is one I just back and forth with. I like the over 11.5 a lot given the weather. It's going to be insane. Pop-ups might even be home runs here, but I think Eric Lauer pitches well. That said, this is a Rockies team that's been very sneakily good against lefties, especially over the past week. They're hitting 308. But ultimately, I think the Blue Jays should just be able to absolutely destroy Tanner Gordon. That said, he's got 3 home starts. He's got a 3 ERA. So, what do you do? But his last start against Cleveland was awful. Gave up 6 earned runs in 3 innings. Start before that at home against St. Louis was fantastic. So it's kind of a hit or miss spot here. Lauer's pretty consistent. He's pretty much like 2 earned run kind of guy. It's how he's been all season. He's actually pitched really well. So it would be Blue Jays. Price is ridiculously high. So it would be over 11.5 for me. You can get a Blue Jays team total. It's like 6.5, but it's juiced at like -130. So I would just take the over in this spot. All right, next game is going to be Tampa Bay and the Angels. So this is going to be Adrian Hauser going up against Yusei Kikuchi. So this is an interesting one. Hauser making his debut for the Rays after getting traded from the White Sox. Kikuchi early on in the season was just lights out at home. He had like a 1 ERA for a decent amount of time. But if we look at his last 3 home starts against Texas, 10 hits, 3 earned runs. Against Seattle, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. Against the Diamondbacks, 3 earned runs, 6 hits. Against Texas, 6 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 6 hits. So he's really struggled. Last 4 starts at home, he has given up 3 or more earned runs. And this is a Rays team. It's kind of a similar boat with both teams. Neither are hitting well. We look at the Rays over the last 2 weeks hitting 194 against lefties, but the Angels are hitting 206 against righties. over the past week, you got a Rays team that's hitting 193 against lefties. Angels hitting 189 against righties. So really it's just not good in that front. But the splits for Kikuchi over the last 30 days, they're just not good. 310 average to lefties, 304 to righties. Hard hit percentage is elevated. Runners in scoring position, not great. Adrian Hauser, a little susceptible against lefties. He's been fantastic against righties. It would be the Rays here. It'd be the Rays at plus money for me. We have an over-under of 8.5 with the wind blowing out, and it's going to be 80 degrees. So that's a little suspicious in my opinion. But the Rays definitely have the bullpen advantage. I think they have the starting pitching advantage, to be honest with you. Rays are nothing for me in this spot. Just two offenses, though, that I just don't know if I want to trust. But if we look at the Rays, they are third hitting the fastball against lefties, and they're third hitting a slider. That is about 75% of what Kikuchi throws. So maybe a Rays team total over. That way we don't have to worry about anything else. All right, next game is going to be the Padres and the Diamondbacks. We get J.P. Sears making his Padres debut. Sears was on the Athletics prior to that, going up against Brandon Pfaadt. Pfaadt is a bit of an enigma. He's going to be excellent or awful. Like, he just tends to go one way or the other. His last start was awful. It was at Detroit, 4.2 innings, gave up 11 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 home runs. And now you start before that, though. He was pretty decent against Houston. 5 hits, 2 earned runs, pretty decent against the Cardinals. Padres touched him up just a little bit. Giants smacked him around, so he's kind of hit or miss. But the fact that he's faced the Padres within the past month, I love taking the Padres here in this spot. J.P. Sears has been pretty decent. He's definitely can get blown up, but if we look over his last 6 starts, he's really only had 1 bad start, and it was at Cleveland. Gave up 6 hits, 6 earned runs, but other than that, it's been pretty damn good. We have an over-under of 9.5, which feels like a lot, in my opinion. This is a D-backs team. Over the last week, they have a -1 WRC plus with a 133 batting average. That is dead last. Pretty much everything is dead last over the last week for them. Runners in scoring position, they're hitting .077. Over the last 2 weeks, hitting 127. Over the last month, 186. I just hate this spot for them. So give me the Padres on the money line here. Next game is going to be the Cardinals and the Dodgers. Sonny Gray going up against Tyler Glasnow. Old Sonny Gray, it's not been good. His last 3 games have been a bit of a struggle bus here. Playing Miami, his last start was at home against Miami. Gave up 8 hits, only 3 earned runs, but still gave up 8 hits. Start previous to that was also at home versus the Padres. Gave up 11 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 home runs. And then the start previous to that was at Arizona. Gave up 8 earned runs, 11 hits, 2 home runs. So he's just looked really bad. And he doesn't have a great track record at Dodger Stadium. So he is 1-4 against the Dodgers on the road. Let's see. If we look at the Dodgers, kind of an interesting number. On Mondays, they're a pretty damn good baseball team. They're 14-4 to the Yerfie. So that's kind of an interesting one. That's at home. Pretty crazy. So if you want to look at the Yerfie, and I think on Mondays they're 12-1 at home to the Yerfie. So kind of a weird play there, but don't really want to trust Glasnow to give up runs. He's looked pretty sharp. His last start though wasn't as fantastic against Cincinnati. Gave up 4 hits, 4 earned runs, but he really struggled with command. 2 home runs and 5 walks kind of derailed that. But we look at all of his starts before that. Pretty damn fantastic. So I like him. Good bounce back spot here. It would be Dodgers on the run line. Not going to bet it, but that would be the only way I would play that. You got a Cardinals team that's just struggling, hitting .211 against righties over the past 2 weeks, 199 over the past week. Struggling with runners in scoring position. Sonny Gray, last 30 days, giving up a .329 average to lefties, .370 to righties. Strikeout rates down. Runners in scoring position, he's struggling. He's got almost a 6 ERA on the road. So this is definitely a spot where if Glasnow can just throw strikes, I see the Dodgers kind of running away with this one. So that is where I'm at with that. All right, let's get into our best bet, see if we can get this right. We screwed it up yesterday, I guess, but looks like we're good today. So I'm going to take the Reds on the money line. Like I said, I like Lodolo in this field with the wind blowing in. I like the fact that the Reds just saw Michael Soroka 2 weeks ago. He's going to be making his debut with a new team. You got a new catcher. So a lot of things I think work in our favor here. Padres on the money line. Like I said, I think we got an advantage here. Obviously, we know the D-backs are not making a playoff push, and the Padres need to win some games here in the West. Give me the Phillies on the first 5 -0.5 a run. Like I said, Luzardo, just when I look at his stats, everything says he should have a pretty decent day today. I think the Phillies offensively have a good win condition to just absolutely explode on Cade Povich. Give me the Brewers on the first 5. We're fading Eric Fetty, trusting Quinn Priester. Like I said, Brewers are 8-0 in his last 8 starts. So I like that. We know the Brewers have been putting up a ton of runs over the last series against the Nationals. Let's keep that momentum rolling into Atlanta. The only thing that scares me is the 66% chance of rain and when that's going to come. And then our last play is going to be the Giants. On the money line, yes, we are trusting Justin Verlander. Could be the dumbest decision ever, or it could be brilliant. But we have Johan on the other side making his MLB debut. First time he's pitched since 2023 in the majors, so it's been a hot minute. I don't think he's going to come out super sharp, and I like this Giants team. Like I said, they've got the travel advantage with the Pirates coming all the way from Colorado. They look fantastic in that Mets game, so they've got some momentum. So give me the Giants on the money line, almost a pick-em price. They're just ultimately the better team. So those are the plays today. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.